the first thing we need to do is figure out our possible rational roots. So that would be p over q. My p-value is 6. So the factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. And of course everything gets a plus or minus because it could be either positive or negative. And then my q number would be this number right here. And since there's nothing there, it's actually a 1. So the only factor of 1 is 1. So if I want to write out my list here, it's basically just the numbers on the top. So 1 divided by 1 is 1, 2 divided by 1, 3 divided by 1, 6 divided by 1. So now at this point what we have to do is, we have two choices. We can either do synthetic division, and we can divide out all 8 of these options and see which 3 of them give us our rational roots, or we can plug them in. So we can do like f of 1, f of negative 1, and whichever ones give us an answer of 0, those would be our answers. So I'm going to do a couple of each. Once we find our 3 roots, we can stop. So if we happen to find them on the first 3 choices, then we don't have to keep going. So I'm going to start with negative 1. I'm going to do synthetic division first. My coefficients are 1, 8, 17, and 6. So I would drop down the 1. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. This would be 7, negative 7, 10, negative 10, and 4. So this one did not work because I did not get a remainder of 0. So I'm going to cross that one out. Now I'm going to do the next one. So I'm going to try positive 1. Same coefficients, 1, 8, 17, and 6. So I'm dropping down the 1. This would be 1, 9, 9, 26, 26, and then 32. So again, I did not get 0. That is not a solution. So let's pick the next one. I'm just going to go down the list. So negative 2, same list of x coefficients. So bring down the 1, negative 2, 6, negative 12, 5, negative 10, negative 4. Okay, that one didn't work either. These are some bad choices to go first. All right, now let's try positive 2. Oops. I put my bar in the wrong place. Okay, so positive 2, 1, 8, 17, and 6. So I'm dropping down the 1. That would be 2, 10, 20, 37, 74, and 80. Definitely not 0. Okay, so I've tried my first 4. None of them worked. So I know that my 3 answers have to be in my either 3, negative 3, or 6 and negative 6. So the last ones I'm going to do by plugging in. So I'm going to do negative 3 first. So I'm going to do f of negative 3. And what I'm going to do is take my original problem and I'm going to plug in negative 3 wherever there's an x. So that would be negative 3 cubed plus 8 times negative 3 squared plus 17 times negative 3, I'm running out of room, and then plus 6. So now at this point I'm going to take this and plug it into my calculator and see what I get. And I finally get 0. So I know that negative 3 is one of my solutions. All right, now I have to do this again until I run out of numbers or I get my 3. So I'm going to try plugging in positive 3. So I'm going to do the exact same thing, but I'm plugging in positive 3 instead of negative 3. So again, I'm going to plug this into my calculator, and this time I get 156, so definitely not 0. So this one is not one of my solutions. So the other 2 have to be my solutions, but I am going to see it through, and the reason is because what if we made a mistake, you know? So I am going to show you that these other 2 do work. So this one, we'd be plugging in negative 6 everywhere you see an x. And when you type that into your calculator, it gives you negative 24. So this one also doesn't work. And then the last one, last but not least, is positive 6. And for this one, we're going to do the exact same thing, but now we're plugging in positive 6. You put that into your calculator, and it gives you 612. So I said I was going to show you that these other two work, but they actually don't. So what's happening here is that this problem has one rational zero, and that rational zero is -3. And that was this one that I wrote here in purple. So what that means is because I have one rational zero and that is it, it means that my other two solutions must be irrational or imaginary. So just because we only got one zero does not mean we were wrong. It just means that the other two zeros are not rational.